everyone. It's meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I'm so happy that you guys could join me right now. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening currently and a little bit of a look ahead as far as the weather is concerned. A lot of big stories, including a cold front, some active weather, a cold snap, and of course, the big games, right? So we're going to kind of get into all of that. And we're going to, of course, talk about our current conditions across the entire nation. Now, I am going to do an international forecast probably by tomorrow, but I certainly wanted to go ahead and focus quickly on what's happening now, locally in our nation. All right, so we can see a frontal boundary that's diving on down, impacting portions of the upper peninsula and down into portions of the Midwest into the Northeast there. You'll see some active weather that's going to develop over the next couple of hours and into tomorrow. Now, I do want to say something. I watched the game earlier today with my husband, and we are really excited that the first game, game one for the ALCS, is going to be in New York. Otherwise, we certainly could have seen some issues there with that game. The Guardians are going to be at Yankees, so that's a good thing there. Apart from that, locally here, of course, in Southern California, we have the NLCS. And apart from just some air quality issues, it's going to be pretty nice. I do want to add that for the ALCS, the winds are going to be game one. The winds are going to be a little gusty coming out of the northwest, so just keep that in mind if you are going to be putting money on the line. All right. So as we look across our Weather Co-op 2-hour SAT-RAD loop, including weather alerts and including our wind profile, we're going to go ahead and highlight a few areas here of interest because I think it's important to always focus on a change in like temperature, especially overnight. Looks like we have a freeze watch here. So we certainly want to make sure that we're aware of what's happening here for portions of Nebraska. Nebraska, yesterday you guys had fire weather to contend with. Now you have a freeze watch. You also have a frost advisory. Unfortunately, you guys have been going through it with weather, but at least I have you covered right here at Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. But yeah, you have a frost advisory in effect. Temperatures as low as 32 degrees Fahrenheit will result in frost formation. Portions of Panhandle and Southwest Nebraska from 1 a.m. CDT until 9 a.m. CDT. Frost could harm sensitive outdoor vegetation. Sensitive outdoor plants may be killed if left uncovered. So just be advised there. I also want to show you what's happening a little farther north. So we have a freeze warning for portions of North Dakota. That's from 3 a.m. Central, 2 a.m. Mountain, until 10 a.m. Central. And that's going to be a concern there for frost and freeze conditions that could kill crops and other sensitive vegetation. So take steps now to protect tender plants from the cold. They need some TLC too. We're seeing lots of air quality issues. That's been something I've been tracking here locally in Southern California. While we have not seen any air quality alerts issued, I've not even seen a special weather statement, to be quite honest with you. I have seen the smog. And I've seen some reports of air quality concerns. And so I certainly want to make that aware as far as what you guys might be experiencing. And the PM 2.5, that's something that I'm seeing a little bit higher, especially in Southern California. And let's see what else do we have that's a little bit high right now. SO2, so just certain concentrations, okay? You might want to keep that in mind. But apart from that, we're going to go and head on over to Oregon, where we are actually seeing some alerts that have been issued by the National Weather Service, and we do have that air quality alert. So the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality and the Lane Regional Air Protection Agency have continued an air quality advisory in effect until noon Tuesday. I like when they do that. Now, this is just something that I think they do a really great job of. Idaho also does a great job. I can see that as well. Wyoming, you have an air quality alert that's been issued. And I think those are really important. In this case, we're seeing who's a part of this. We have the air quality advisory from the Idaho Department of Environmental Quality for Lemhi County. I think it's Lemhi County. Remember when I was in the Intermountain West? I believe it's Lemhi County. And then we also have one for, it looks like, yeah. Let's see here. the Wyoming Department of Environmental Quality, Air Quality Division, and the Wyoming Department of Health. So I'm really appreciative of this here because I just think that we're having air quality issues for many regions, and I'm just not seeing those notated. And of course, I can't notate those myself, nor can I issue those statements, but I certainly can advise that we're seeing some air quality issues across parts of Southern California. I mean, I definitely could see it here in the greater LA metropolitan area. Okay. So region is what I wanted to say. Okay. So this is an interesting statement here, and I'm going to highlight this one because this is pretty good. I always love showing you these, especially when it's kind of like that time of the year. Things are changing over. We've got a gale watch. We've got to make sure that we. Why did I say that like Oprah? I got gale watch. It's like, get it? They're best friends. Okay, never mind. All right, we're also seeing some light precip. Just over a quarter of an inch of rain, but nothing major at all. So just something to just be advised on. I don't see that turning into frozen precip just because temperatures are not cold enough, but we'll get to those current conditions in just one moment. We're also seeing small craft advisory here up and along the East Coast. So if you do have a small craft, please tend to it, because that's going to be an issue. Southwest winds are going to be pretty strong. That's a stationary boundary. So basically, there was a cold front cutting on through, then it went stationary, and now it's going to retreat or move back up the East Coast, and it's going to be a warm front. So those things tend to cause a little bit of a disruption in the atmosphere. No surprise there. Just keep that in mind if you happen to have a boat and you want to keep it nice and safe. All right. So let's take a look at our current temperatures across the nation. Let's see here. Or not. Why don't we go to our current, our current dew points. Let's see if I can get to my current temperatures right now. I might be able to get there or not. No worries there. If we can't, we just can't. And you know how we are around here. We're pretty casual. We like to just take it easy. All right, let's see. We should be able to get to our current temperatures, but if we cannot, we're not going to worry ourselves. That helps nobody, especially on a weekend. Here we go. Found it. All right, now we're cooking with Crisco. All right, here we go. So I wanted to get this graphic for you and just give you an idea of what's happening across the nation. And let's just start over on the East Coast. Why not? We were just there. We were talking about the concern for small crafts and that advisory that was issued. We can see right now Philadelphia, you're at 64 degrees, Baltimore, a pair of 6s, New York, 61, New Haven, 52, and Boston, a pair of 5s, Buffalo at 50, Pittsburgh, 59, Roanoke, 56, Charlotte at 57, Charleston, 66, Jacksonville, 70, Atlanta, 63. We've got Montgomery in the low 60s and Mobile also in the 60s, New Orleans in the 70s, along with Little Rock and Houston, Oklahoma as well, Dallas in the 80s. Nice and warm there at 80. We have cooler conditions for Kansas City at 73, Indianapolis 69 degrees, Louisville 68 for you, Chicago at 62, Green Bay 51 degrees, Minneapolis at 50, Des Moines 64, Bismarck 53, Rapid City at 58, Scottsbluff also seeing upper 50s, and Danbury 55 degrees. So can you get an idea here of that colder air that's moving in, right? You can tell here, seeing some 40s and some 50s, and then farther south and east, or even south and west, you're seeing much warmer conditions. So just something to keep an eye out for, of course, because we are in the fall season, so things change, right? We have Denver at 67 degrees, Thermopolis 10 degrees cooler, Billings at 55, Whitebird at 62, Boise 63, Redding 68, Portland 63, Seattle upper 50s, San Francisco mid 60s, Los Angeles and San Diego both at 63 degrees. All right, now let's look at our current dew points. Okay, that's of interest now because you want to see just how dry conditions are. And really for the Central Plains portions of the Southwest, the Great Basin as well. No surprise there, really dry conditions. Though we are not seeing any fire weather right now. Like I said, we did see the fire weather issued for Nebraska last night, but now we're not seeing that. But we're still keeping an eye out. We always like to take a look at these really dry conditions, and if we have to take note and make note, we do so. Let's see. Across the northern plains, we're seeing 20s and 30s for dew points, and the same for the northeast and the tri-state area. Let's look at our current wind profile, seeing a northerly wind there for parts of the northeast, along with Seattle. So Pacific Northwest also getting a northerly push there. San Francisco, a northwest wind, and Los Angeles, a really hearty westerly wind. I like that. Looks really good. We have Oklahoma City with a southerly push. Kansas City with a northwest wind, Des Moines with a strong northerly wind, and Minneapolis with a southeast wind, Charleston a northerly wind, along with Atlanta and Nashville. Currently, you are experiencing a southerly wind, and let's see how strong your southerly wind is there. Nashville, 6 miles per hour, so a nice quiet wind for your quiet Saturday night, or not quiet, depending on what you're doing, right? If you're like me, it's quiet. If you're like Jay, he's rowdy. Do you hear that? Do you hear the rowdiness back there behind me, guys? This is what I got to deal with. It's just. He's on mute to that, but in reality, it's like crazy loud up in here. He's on mute though. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. All right, so we are tracking the wind across the nation. Houston, 11 mile per hour wind, along with Dallas and Odessa. Oklahoma City, 8. Garden City, 11. Kansas City, 6. Des Moines, 7. Reading, calm. We like seeing calm winds. Well, not always, especially when there's like an issue with air quality. Los Angeles, 6 mile per hour wind, and San Francisco, 6 mile per hour wind for you. So let's take a quick look at our future cast, guys. We've got to get through this. This can't be a really long weather hit. I'm noticing you guys just want like the details, the nitty gritty. Come on, Erica. What's the weather like? Let's keep it moving. Hi. Oh my God. Hi, Raven. Wait, Ray at the front desk at Ivy at the shore. Gore says hi. Hi. Do you guys need a forecast? All right. Let Gore know to make sure he locks you down as a client. So I'm talking about, that's why I love me some Gore. He's always working. He's like us. Work, 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 work. Fun. Work is fun. All right. Weather is fun. Okay, guys. So here is a look at what's happening across portions of the nation. I'm just going to go ahead and forward this out 120 hours simply because we kind of just got to get through to see what's happening here. We had that low that was moving through that storm system. There is a little bit of a change. It looks like it's going to be for portions of upstate New York. So the Adirondacks, to use a fancy word there. Right, babe? Again, it's very loud. He's muted. He's muted. Okay. So the Adirondacks, which are actually quite beautiful, right, babe? Okay. Oh my God, stunning. And do I see a little bit of a changeover for portions of the Appalachians? I believe I do. And this is happening late Tuesday, which makes sense because we have another cold front moving through. All right. Apart from that, we're going to watch that Aleutian low we talked about last night on our Wild Friday night. We discussed this Aleutian low. And honestly, I mean, it looks like we have a little bit of weather moving through portions of the desert Southwest, but it's nothing crazy. Maybe the Rockies, it just looks like there's just a little, it could be some orographics, nothing major. But we'll keep an eye on that for you because we got to make sure that you guys are all safe, especially if you're traveling. This time of the year when the precip type starts to change, we know that it's really time for Weather Co-op to kick things up. It's exactly what we do around here. We kick things up. All right, now for the unveiling. Jay, are you ready? Okay. All righty. While I named this the 120-hour weather outlook graphic, I lied. It is not. It is actually the NLCS graphic. So tomorrow at 7 p.m., let me go ahead and actually push this back a few hours. At 5 p.m., see, luckily I'm at the desk right now, so this allows me to just kind of play a little bit more. At 5 p.m., first pitch, I dropped temperatures by about 2 to 3 degrees with that southwesterly wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour, and temperatures. Oh my God, I have an assistant. What? I can't believe it.
Southwest. So
Southwest.
Blowing out.
Southwest. So Jay, if I were a betting meteorologist, if I were a betting meteorologist, any tips? If I weren't a meteorologist on air at Weather Co-op and we were just betting, not in California, but in another state that allows for legal betting, and I'm, of course, over 18.
Other states in the country.
Sure. Around the world.
Yes.
Any thoughts about a southwest wind?
Whatever the over is for home runs, I haven't seen anything yet. But with those kind of power hitters, especially in the Dodgers lineup.
Ooh, what about the pitchers? I mean, the pitchers were on fire last night.
I would take it because I would not be surprised to see at least 3 or 4 long balls. With that kind of air and that little breeze carrying out the right field.
That's all we're saying. It's all we're saying. That is all we're saying here at Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. Okay. And then the seventh inning, we're seeing mid-60s. Now, air quality index. Okay, this has been a point of contention for me all weekend long. And you guys know I'm doing my best to not be as, big sister as I generally can be. But bossy big sister, as I say. Air quality indices have not been the best here over the past couple of days. I've not seen any statements, Jay, but I do think it's, hey, step on camera. I need you back on camera.
I'm back on camera.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You're like in both scenes. Look at he's hogging all my airtime, dude. What's up?
Hey, how are you? Over there?
I told you. Once you unmute this guy, he just goes. He goes. Okay.
I was on mute.
That's okay, baby. Nobody puts baby on mute. Okay, here we go. Air quality. I'm gonna leave it at poor. Now, poor to moderate, and I think many of you could have looked out of your window today, especially across the greater LA area, and you would have seen that poor to moderate was about right. Okay, so we're gonna stay there. And the 7th inning, we're seeing temperatures in the mid-60s, still seeing a southwesterly wind. So all in all, not that bad, right?
So the 7th inning stretch, everybody gets up, stretches. 7th inning, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're blocking the 7th inning. That you're blocking temps. Go on the other side.
Watch this.
Head on over.
I can't.
Ta-da! Now he can't be in both. Now I can't. That's what it is. He wants to be in both shots, but he can't be. You can't have it all. Okay. Here. All right. So look, air quality. I've got poor. It's poor to moderate, but I'm gonna stick with. By the 7th inning, it might be more on the moderate side, but for much of the day, it's going to be poor. Okay, it's just you don't be surprised. Like I know I'm feeling stuffy and I'm feeling a little congested, and I mean I don't really get impacted by things like that. No.
When you're looking through the window, that actually is the haze.
Yeah.
Out there. Yeah.
Let's tilt that mic for him as well. All right, so we're just going to continue this and then play this out for the rest of the night until about midnight, and then ta-da! We head on over to the ALCS. Oh my gosh, this is a big one. And this, I think we have to give a special shout out to Joey Malibu. Because Joey Malibu is going to be like... Now, this one was interesting. And, oh man, again, if I were a betting meteorologist and I was not in California and I was in another state that allowed legal betting, and of course I'm over 18, that's great. I would have been very intrigued if the game had been in Ohio, simply because of that low. Yeah. But it is not, and we will see some light rain early.
It's mid-October baseball.
Right, okay.
Come on.
But then this is where we're talking about why we're a betting person, which I am not. I'm actually going to go back, though. I don't know why it's giving me all the way through. Oh, I know why. I set the settings a little bit later. Okay, here we go. But I'm going to go back in time a little bit. Back in time.
Back in time.
Okay. Back in time. Okay, here we go. Sunday, 8 a.m., right? So we were flirting with that frontal boundary stationary. Now it's coming back up as a warm front, right? 9 a.m. Look at those winds. Oh, look at those winds, right? Noon, the winds are still an issue. And the winds, guess what, are going to be an issue all day. So once again, if I were a betting meteorologist.
Okay. a little bit different scenario with
oh god, here we go.
With the way Yankee Stadium is set up.
Okay.
With that light breeze there
okay.
that we'll see by game time. So balls won't be carrying quite the same way that they probably will out of Dodger Stadium.
You keep talking. I'm going to just edit something. You keep talking now. Just you're going to be in front of a blank camera. Keep on talking.
The person that might bet on baseball, which isn't.
And it's not. And honestly, it's not me. You guys know that.
It's
I'm
all
way too frugal for that crap.
Aaron Judge has been kind of quiet over the last week or two, so
what?
I do not expect that to continue.
But what about that strong northwesterly gust, Jay?
Carlos Stanton can take that ball and hit it a mile with a little bit of wind like that. Get a little loft under there. That could be that could spell some problems for the Guardians. Although very impressive grand slam today in that game. Off of a very good pitcher. Skubal was lights out for like 17 innings straight. You know who I got that information from, by the way?
Whom?
Corey
Pescaturo, a.k.a. CPES, who's like a 5-time world champion accordion player. He's also a Skywarn storm spotter. We're also in need of him, especially come winter, because he's really good at snow liquid ratio. Okay, sorry. Okay. But Jay, really fast. So first pitch, 7:37 p.m. EDT. 53 degrees, northwest wind, 15 to 20. And the winds still remain a problem for the 7th inning. So talk to me. We know it's going to feel colder than 53. It'll feel like it's in the 40s. Same thing for the 7th inning. Let's talk about that northwesterly wind.
Yeah. So in looking at the layout, actually, can you zoom in a little bit? Maybe
zoom in.
The stadium itself.
Let's try to
see if you can grab that.
Let's see if we can. Cannot right now. I've not said it.
So at Yankee Stadium, a northwest wind essentially cuts across the stadium. So the tendency would be to limit the flight of some of those really hard hit balls out toward the outfield. If they're going to do anything, it would be earlier in the game. If with that kind of a wind, we'll see what happens. That could affect the ability for some of those long ball hitters to be effective.
Yes.
The ball will just go up there and hang forever instead of carrying over the wall. Could be an issue. And with those temperatures, the ball becomes really dense.
It does. It does.
Cold, dry air like that.
You know what? Let me just. I'm gonna go to 920. So you keep going because I'm gonna bring up something at 925 millibars.
Okay.
Right? Because I want to look at that wind profile. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm looking at something else. It's not ours. Weather Co-op has a really good forecast, but I'm looking at somebody else that I think somebody might be referred to more frequently than us, right? Since we're a nascent company. They're not giving those gusts enough justification and enough juice. And we all know what Bill Belichick said when they lost that game. Blame it on the gusts. But look, if you look really quickly, Jay, so you guys can't see this, and I wish I could share this with you. Look at the gradients there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really gusty. I mean, I think I'm very comfortable, and I feel like I'm pretty accurate with this wind gust right now. What do you think, Jay?
No, I think that's
really
accurate.
I don't think I'm being generous. I think I'm being quite conservative, actually.
No, and I would say, if anything, that favors the way the Guardians play.
So if I were a betting woman and I were not,
rely more on the long ball.
True story, guys.
Guardians play small ball.
Wait, babe. Sorry, I need a little psych talk right now. Okay. So therapy session, really quickly, guys. So true story. Okay, when I was young, my family, I don't bet. I've just never bet, and it's not my thing. But true story. When I was young, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna bet on a game, and it was like something that everybody did in class. So we just did it, and I lost $2. And when you're a kid, that's like what? That's bubble gum and it's like candy. I mean, at least for me, I'm Gen X. So, anyways, point is, ever since then, I've never gambled. I don't even play lottery tickets. So there was that one time back in 2011, I was working at CBS in Springfield, and the Dunkin' Donuts guy was like, "Are you going to bet on that $1 billion ticket?" And I was like, "No, I don't bet. It's not my thing. I don't believe in it." And he gave me his $2 out of his tip jar. And then he was like, did we win? I was like, no, I mean, I played it. We didn't win. So the point being is I don't bet, but I do know betting lines quite well when it comes to weather.
And hey, $2? Like when we were kids in school, that would buy like
a lot.
10 boxes.
Totally.
Of Alexander the Great.
Oh my God.
Heads or
but really quickly, Jay. But really quickly, when we go back to our Northwest wins, 15-20. So Jay believes, and we are going to look at some of the betting lines that the Guardians might.
Their style of play.
Actually
favor those types, that type of condition rather
than
the Yankees.
Oh my! Could the weather be responsible for such games and such turnout? Yes, actually could. This is why you tune into Weather Co-op, where weather meets community.
That's right.
So we're so excited. So first pitch at 7:37 p.m. 53 degrees and windy, still windy and gusty. On the 7th inning, we're seeing low 50s, upper 40s to low 50s, and it's going to be gusty. So all in all, that is a look with my assistant, Jay, at your forecast. We're going to have more updates for you coming up in just a bit. I actually have a really important forecast. I'll tell you who asked for this one. And I want to make sure I get it for them.
Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of betting, if you and I were to have a friendly wager, what do you think the odds are that this will end up being a Subway World Series?
I know. Ooh. I don't know. The Dodgers are just too good.
Really
They're
good.
just too good. They're just too good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I don't have a horse in the race here. It's, Red Sox.
It's been 20 something years.
It would be. It would be, and as much as I want to say that it's possible, they were ridiculous. They're just so good. And which is great. I mean, I'm happy that they are, right? Like, they're really good though. Just saying, would it be nice? I suppose if I lived in New York, I would be really excited if I were going to a game and I had tickets, sure. But if I didn't and I don't live in New York, then I wouldn't really care either way. What do you think, Jay?
Well, I think it'd be nice from the roof out here just to look over and see the lights.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Anyway, with the fireworks, that'd be kind of cool.
We absolutely will, and so we're excited about that. Okay, I'm looking for a request I had for weather.
And I'll tell you what, for the East Coast fans, the Yankees fans, it's tough when you have, if it gets to this, where you have the games going in Pacific time, and you're a school kid, and you want to stay up to watch your team.
Oh my God,
that the World Series.
That's the one thing I can tell you.
It's tough.
I can tell you this. It's been so nice being on the West Coast and watching all the games. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I wish I could lie to you. Like, if New England can be in Southern California, it'd be perfect. Okay. All right. Okay. So I have a special forecast coming up for the CEO and founder of 92.9 FM WDUP at 929 WDUP. He is, let's see. He has a request for an event next week. So we're going to get to that in just a bit. And we'll tell you where it is. So you want to stay tuned. Thanks again to Jay, who has been a wonderful, he's my very own Vanna White. It's just like he sachets across that wall and it's like nobody else. Okay. All right. There he is. My own my own private Vanna White. Okay, guys. Hasta la pasta. Have a great night. Love ya.